50% of the Brahmins in 2019 voted for the BJP. The fact that all these parties think they can pull the Brahmin vote away really shows how they believe your party has mishandled the Brahmin constituency from 2017 to now.
If you see the Brahmin Mahasammelans going on, organized by the SP and the BSP, I think there is something very strange and everything is so very ridiculous. You have seen some of the photographs of Mayawati ji in a Brahmin Sammelan, which with the chanting of the chants are being done, and then there is a Trishul which is being handed over to her, and shlokas are being actually read out. I think this is all very grotesque, if I can say so. As far as we are concerned, we are banking on the development agenda. For us, politics is all about development.
We believe that every section of Uttar Pradesh, especially the youth, the women, the farmers, are coming together to boot Bharatiya Janata Party out. And they see Akhilesh Yadav as a formidable leader who can bring everyone together. As Samajwadi Party, though there is a media outline that it's MY or the other acronyms people use, but clearly we have done consistent outreach to every section who believes that youth of Uttar Pradesh want jobs, and we are the party who can deliver that.
There is no doubt that the Brahmins are not unhappy with the BJP government. But one should also remember the kind of polarization in favor of BJP, what we have seen among the Brahmins for 2019 Lok Sabha election. That kind of a sharp polarization will not happen in the assembly election. It has not happened even in the past. So whenever there is a Lok Sabha elections, the communities which vote for the BJP vote for BJP in a much bigger numbers compared to an assembly election.
Well, I don't think the Prabhuth Sammelans are going to make so much of a difference, particularly those being done by Mayawati and Satish Mishra, because all these years they have not thought of Brahmins. Suddenly, all their love for Brahmins is being over displayed, and I think the Brahmin can recruit, and particularly BSP in any case is being largely, conceived as today as a team B of Narendra Modi.
As far as the Brahmins are concerned, we certainly feel that we will address that issue as well. But the larger issue, the most crucial election at the moment after COVID, if people are expecting us to be on the streets during the COVID period, we would have been the most irresponsible party and a most irresponsible act. We did not rush people to the Bengal to fight elections and affect everybody. We did not even run to the melas in Haridwar and Rishikesh, where the leaders got infected and they gave infection to other people and brought it back to the different districts of Uttar Pradesh.
There was a long interview for about an hour. What's the sense that you got? Was it a frustrated ally which wanted to show the mirror to the Congress and say, heed my advice, get your house in order? Or was this a warning by a wily politician, which at many times Pawar has been?
This is Mr. Pawar, in a way, not sort of taking on the Congress as much as offering the Congress a reality check, a sense of introspection. And what's happened in the 24 hours since we put out the interview reflects perhaps some of the problems of the Congress. A party which essentially, Preeti, still seems in denial. Instead of appreciating that here is an ally who's actually been a congressman all his life, as he admits during our interview, they seem to believe that Mr. Pawar is taking on the Gandhi family. Far from it. The sense I got is that Mr. Pawar recognizes that the Congress needs to be the fulcrum of any opposition alternative to the BJP.
Will the Maharashtra model will be replicated for 2024 elections? And he was talking about the hurdles, why it's being difficult that such kind of model can be replicated, and how it's a time-taking process, and how the Congress is the biggest hurdle in creating that kind of an alternative. While speaking that, he also told us about his experience while making this Maharashtra model, the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi model.
Mr. Pawar knows his own party, the NCP, he has formed it. He knows the Congress party like the back of his hand. And he has his friends and allies not only in the ruling party but across the political spectrum of this country. So I don't think there is any hatred in the minds of Mr. Pawar and there is any kind of anger or angst. It's just a plain, it's a question raised by Rajiv Sardesai. I have also watched the interview and Sahil was there, of course. It's just a question it was raised, and he said that this is the situation.
The NCP spokesperson obviously was trying to defend the indefensible. As you very rightly said, his boss
Mr. Sharad Pawar categorically and clearly showed the mirror to the Congress, and I'm sure the Congress party did not like the reflection that they saw therein. You know, the simple point is this. While each of us can continue to interpret Mr. Sharad Pawar's interview in a plethora of ways, the fact remains, Preeti, that Sharad Pawar is no greenhorn. He's the ex-Chief Minister of Maharashtra. He's somebody who's been a career Congress politician, and for almost 2 decades he's been in alliance with the Congress. He's the ex-Union Agriculture Minister when the UPA was in power. So his words do carry weight.
Look at Mr. Sharad Pawar's own backyard. Last time he became Chief Minister of Maharashtra was when he was in Congress. After that, you look at all successive Lok Sabha elections, his party has not crossed, even double digit in Maharashtra. Maximum number of Lok Sabha seats it won was 9. Problems with Congress are many, but this is not the way to forge opposition unity. Mr. Pawar is a responsible person. He is creating a situation where there could be bad blood between the Congress and its allies for 24.
General, do you find it odd that the Western theatre commander is being shuffled so frequently, and what could the reason be in your view?
Naturally, it is odd, and we have to rationalize as to why it is happening. The fact of the matter is that this region of Tibet and Xinjiang has become most important part of China, one of the most important parts of China today. There is a situation developing in Afghanistan, a serious one. The CPEC is coming up in one area. Both the provinces, Xinjiang and Tibet, are restive, and a lot of information flows in on issues happening there. So they probably wanted a gentleman, a general, who knew the whole area well and was very experienced. So the in-between, of course, as you rightly pointed out, General Zhao retired at 65 years of age in December. But this, in that time, General Wang, who was serving in the Tibet military region, was shifted across to Xinjiang because he had not seen Xinjiang. So he got an experience of Xinjiang military division for about the same time, about 7-8 months.
Okay.
In between, 2 generals were brought in. So in this course of 8-9 months, General Wang, who has not taken over, actually came to see the area of Xinjiang also in depth. And then, he was brought into the Western Theatre Command to having known both Tibet and Xinjiang together.